everyone, welcome to my show Tell Me More, where I interview interesting people from around the world who tell me more about what they're doing, what inspires them, and what makes them so unique. Now, before I start with my interview, depending on where you're watching this video, there is a chance for you to like, comment, share, or subscribe to my channel and to promote this interview with a very inspirational young woman. So please, I would really appreciate it if you could share your support by liking, commenting, sharing, or subscribing. Now, let's get started. I want you to close your eyes and take a moment to remember on what you were doing when you were 5 years old. I know that I was busy going to school, I was busy playing video games, and I think the most important thing in my life was my homework. Now, our guest at 5 years of age was busy being a social activist and fighting female feticide in India. And she's also been recognized as India's youngest social activist. If that wasn't enough, at 10 years of age, she decided to go on a long journey of 5,000 kilometers to fight climate change. And to top it all off, since then, she's been involved with a lot of different types of activism and recently adopted a village in her local area in India and founded a program called the Sushiksha program. So I would like to give a very warm welcome to Sanjoli Banerjee, who's with us all the way from India. Thank you so much for being here, Sanjoli.
Thank you, Krishna. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, Sanjoli, so I have given our viewers a little bit of an update about what you're doing and what you have done as India's youngest social activist. So why don't you give us a bit of an background on what you're up to today and what are some of the projects you're working on?
Sure. Firstly, thank you for the lovely introduction, Krishna. Secondly, so I have been, as you very well mentioned, I've been into social work for the last 16 years now, having first started off with the Female Feticide project called Save Daughters, Save Country project, so which is now also turned into Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao program by the Prime Minister of India. So secondly, the next core focus has been climate change. And this came in because I personally believe that, women and nature somewhere share a very close bond with each other, both being the lifelines of humankind, So we need one to first give birth and the second to, sustain us. So I believe that, environmental conservation happens to be a very important and pressing issue right now. So that I started at the age of 10. I made a documentary film, went across India spreading awareness. And then most recently, I adopted a village because I wanted to give my entire project, whatever I've done till now, a new form. So I had been creating awareness about female education, about female, saving the daughters. But now I wanted to make them independent, bring out the voice in them rather than being their voice. So that was the, the objective of starting this new project now. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. And so, Sanjoli, from fighting female feticide to tackling climate change, and even you said that you've adopted a village. These are really, really vast projects, and you're tackling really important issues. And starting at 5 years of age, which is very unique. So, what makes you want to take up these projects, and sort of what inspires you to do these things?
That I have to reflect upon myself a lot to answer that question. But if I have to start, go back to 16 years and when I started this project, first, or the primary inspiration would be my parents for sure, because at the age of 5, the child is very innocent, and the way you mold that child, they become that. So my parents introduced this field of social activism because it was when my younger sister was about to be born and my mother was pregnant that we countered these pressures to go for an abortion. My mother was told to abort the second daughter because it will be a burden for the parents in future. There will be no son to look after them when daughters are married off and all of that. So the societal notion somewhere actually introduced us to the concept of female feticide in the first case. And then when we resisted those and my sister was born and my parents were strong enough to face all of that, So I personally was a little surprised with all of that was happening around. So I just questioned them and wanted to know more, like why, just because of she being a girl, they want her to be murdered. So
Right.
and then they introduced me to social activism and said, why just save your own sister? Why not the millions of other girls, in North India especially, who are
Right.
subject to this kind of social evil? So that was the first place where inspiration came from. And then following that, when I grew up, I was active in this field. I would see girls, I would see women, who were underprivileged, and I saw like, wow, like I am privileged, I should be doing something to get all those brothers sisters along. So yeah, gradually I think more of the inspiration has been intrinsic. I don't know if this would be like a big thing, but like, yeah, I believe a lot of inspiration has come from within. A lot of events have
Absolutely.
impacted me. They have impacted me for sure, but inspiration, I would say, has come from within, because I have avoided being apathetic. And that's what I urge other people also. When you see something around, if you take some action to do something about it, so of course you get a purpose in life, and then purpose gives you inspiration and so on. Yeah.
I think that was wonderfully said, and I think that just shows how kind and compassionate you are. But at the same time, I have to ask you that you said that the society itself made you realize that there are so many evils happening against women, and you wouldn't even have known about female feticide unless people told your mom that you need to abort this child, you need to get rid of her. So, what kind of challenges and setbacks have you faced along your journey as an activist, and what sort of challenges do you encounter on a daily basis as an activist for different causes?
For sure, yeah. So primarily, when like I was a young girl, and I and my sister, we both, young girls being at public places, raising slogans, taking up peaceful demonstrations. We even would perform street plays. So when we were there at the forefront, some people would, come up to my parents and very shockingly ask them, like, why are you getting all of this done by your little daughters? They should be inside the homes, they should be studying. It's not the job of these young girls to be, at the roads doing all of this. So they would rather question and like, not politely, but like quite rudely question my parents. And some people would even think that we are doing this for publicity sake. So they were like, oh, come on, like, this thing, you're using your children as publicity tools. So
Right,
the
right.
things have been very hurtful, not just for me, but for my parents as well, for the other volunteers who have been associated with us, because we have always been backed by a passion, by a mission, so all of these things, because they're unique, they're non-conventional. We haven't seen a lot of Indian young girls being out there on the roads.
Right.
Now it is happening, and I really appreciate that thing. But like, I'm talking about 15 years back. So that time, so these kind of challenges, first the societal philosophy and the people perspectives. So one, that second, somewhere, again, making people understand the concept. So they would have hundreds of questions, why girls, why shouldn't we, because there are so many societal challenges that actually promote, female feticide in India. Right from crime to, lack of education to lack of infrastructure. There are lots of challenges, that parents face. So they would rather like to, avoid having a daughter. So we had to make them aware, give them like a rationale to understand the concept. It's not just like an abstract topic that, this is the
Mm.
ideal thing that girls should be born. We had to explain. So second thing was that. And then of course somewhere, because we are a self-funded organization, and like the entire show has been run by my parents and me and my sister mostly, joined by a lot of volunteers. So self-funded organization always has the financial crunch issue. So when we would want to like make documentaries, we distributed more than 1,000 CDs of our documentary across 7 states of India. So the
Wow.
entire expenditure was borne by us and our family. So
Mm.
those things, in the end, those have been a few little challenges here and there, but yeah, but we have, I think, broadly been able to overcome those challenges, and there has been a lot of change, and people have been impacted. So we are glad
Right.
about it.
Right, right. That's very inspirational. And speaking of challenges, you say that yes, it was you being the youngest youth activist. It would have been very unconventional when people see a young girl, protesting and holding up slogans. It's very abnormal,
Mhm.
and so that's a challenge. And then
Yeah.
when your parents have to face a lot of criticism because people
Mhm.
think that they're using you as a publicity tool, so that's another challenge.
Yeah.
And then wanting to do good but not having funding from the government, or from just having to fund everything on your own. So those are some big challenges that you've highlighted. So going ahead, you said that there's a lot of younger girls who are starting to become activists or sort of follow in your footsteps. So what is your personal vision for your activism personally, and also what do you hope to see generally happening in your country? What kind of change do you hope for in the future?
So personally, for my, for my activism and my organization that I am running currently, and the project, the Sushiksha program, as you mentioned, that I've started off late. So for all of this, all I hope is to, reach maximum number of people, because I personally believe that education happens to be a key to solving a lot of problems, social
Right.
problems, especially here in India. So when once people here are aware socially and politically, they would understand the concepts, the pros and cons, and why should we follow this. So all of these answers they'll get through education, and then building scientific temperament. So in the future, I have like a lot of projects planned in the pipeline, and pandemic has slowed down that a bit, but I'm
Right.
sure we'll be able to carry out those projects successfully. So we already have a free mobile school running wherein we interact with the kids. We make them aware about all of this, not just limited to ABCs and
Right.
school curriculum, but a lot
Beyond that.
behind
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And then also engaging with their families, with the parents. So it's like a holistic development approach that we've gotten. So that is one thing. So I hope that we reach maximum people and they understand, the concepts, the social evils, and then they become responsible citizens in the future. That's the only hope I carry for my generation and for my the people who are impacted. Because and then whatever I achieve, it's not for me personally. All the accolades and acknowledgments that I get through all of these projects, it's basically amplifying the work that I'm doing, my message that I want to reach across people. So yeah, that's the hope I carry, and I hope like people of today, the youth, I have a lot of belief in them, a lot of trust in today's youth. And I believe not just they're not just the future leaders, they're also the present leaders. You,
Right.
me, and millions of us today, Malala, Greta, we have countless examples. They all are
Right.
leading the change. So men, women, university students, so all of them, I see like it's incredible to see all of this. So I'm sure the world will be a better place, soon.
Okay, Sanjoli, you did say that you have a few different projects that are in the pipeline, and hopefully after COVID, they will see the light of the day. Um, so, what if some of our viewers want to get in touch with you, especially maybe somebody in India who might watch this and wants to volunteer with you or work for you? Is there some way that they can get in touch with you?
Oh, absolutely. So, my organization is called the NGO Sarthi. So, you could always look up on the internet. We have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram handle, and then we're also revising our website. So, you'll be able to be like get regular updates through those three platforms soon. So, you
Okay.
could always get in touch with us through that. But besides that, I guess you could always find our links on the Google, on the internet. We're there. I have a website, sanjolibanerjee.com. So a lot of work we've already done that's there on it. So yeah, any way that is convenient, just liking that page for regular updates, and then you could volunteer with us. We are thinking of introducing internships soon, so let's see. Hopefully,
Wow,
fingers
that's
crossed, we'll
exciting.
have
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Great.
And then offline, online, in every way possible, we have a lot of options. So just you send us a message on the, on the platform, Facebook or Insta, we'll be back to you. Yeah.
All right, Sanjoli, thank you so much. We are going to wrap up quickly because I know you are a very busy person. But just for maybe some young girl or boy who's out there who's very inspired by you, if in a nutshell you had to explain your mantra for success in life, and maybe your mantra to inspire young people who think that they can't make a contribution to their community or they're too young to make a contribution, what would you like to say to them?
Sure. So first of all, number one, you have to believe in yourself. That is very important. Have hope and believe that you can be the change agent, irrespective of the background you come from. Your age, your gender, your background, like caste or nationality. Everything surpasses. When you have that passion and belief in yourself. So number one, have that. You're very powerful. Number two, I believe. It's important to have a purpose in life, so that is one thing that drives you, that gives meaning to your life, because we all are busy with our routine work. We are students, we have uni work and school work, and then we have jobs and things. These things will keep on going, but you as a human, you must have to realize that what you were born for, what was the purpose behind your birth. So maybe somewhere you have to find a purpose in life, sooner or
Yeah.
later, doesn't matter. And the
Yeah.
final thing is, go for it, in whatever shape you can. Be it the smallest thing, just being respectful and considerate about your environment, your surroundings. If you see something wrong happening, call it out. And then there are lots of online events happening even during the pandemic. We have movements going on, we have things going on. Be a part of it, and maybe you never know, you find passion in it, and you might be the leader of it in the future. So that's how even I started, and I'm sure everywhere you don't have to become a powerful person or be in a place of position or in power to be able to influence change. I'm sure, like, people as young as us, in this age of globalization and digitalization, we can influence change from any part of the world. So just
Absolutely.
these three things, I'm sure they can help you. And just be mindful of the things around. That's it. Avoid apathy. That's my only
Yeah.
message. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All
Hope
right.
hope
Well,
it
thank you
helps.
so much. Absolutely. I'm sure that's going to help many of our viewers. Well, that was Sanjoli Banerjee from India, who has been kind enough to give us a little bit of her personal time out of a very busy schedule. So thank you, Sanjoli. And I think she is an excellent example that age is just a number. And if you believe in yourself and if you have compassion for your community and for your people, you can achieve great things. So that brings us to the end of our very first episode of Tell Me More with me, Krishna Shukla. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this page. Share this video, promote the inspirational young women that I interview, and stay tuned for the next episode very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Krishna. Thank you. It was great being on this platform, and you're doing a great job. I'm sure this will inspire a lot of people, especially young women. So good luck with it.
Awesome. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye bye.
See ya. Bye.